In a remote village nestled among the lush hills and valleys, there lived an astronomer named Aiden. He spent his days observing the cosmos through an ancient telescope that had been handed down through generations in his family. Aiden's heart ached with longing for his late wife, Elara, who had been his constant companion, exploring the universe alongside him through the lens of the telescope. Her loss left him bereft, but he continued his work, hoping that in the vast expanse of the heavens, he might find solace. Aiden's small cottage was perched on a hill overlooking the village, providing an unobstructed view of the night sky. The villagers respected him for his wisdom and knowledge of the stars, but few understood the depth of his passion for the cosmos. Aiden spent his nights mapping the skies and identifying celestial phenomena, documenting his findings in a journal that he shared with Elara when she was alive. One fateful night, as the velvet sky glittered with countless celestial bodies, Aiden found himself drawn to his telescope, eager to explore the cosmic wonders above. He meticulously adjusted the powerful instrument, focusing on an enigmatic distant constellation that seemed to whisper secrets from a world unknown. The air was crisp, and the stars twinkled, reflecting the universe's infinite beauty. As Aiden scanned the heavens, his telescope suddenly fell upon a dying star that captured his attention like no other. This celestial body, unlike its brilliant neighbors, flickered and shimmered with an otherworldly glow. The radiant hues danced and pulsed, creating a mesmerizing spectacle that seemed to beckon him, as if it were a celestial siren singing a hauntingly beautiful song. Intrigued by this ethereal sight, Aiden became consumed with a burning curiosity, his mind racing with questions about the mysterious star. He spent countless hours poring over dusty tomes, ancient scrolls, and forgotten manuscripts, seeking any fragment of knowledge that could unveil the enigma before him. As his research deepened, Aiden uncovered a fascinating truth about the celestial body. It was an exceedingly rare cosmic phenomenon, a star nearing the end of its life cycle that held within it a near-limitless power. This power, concentrated in the form of radiant stardust, had the ability to grant a single wish to anyone who could harness it. However, this gift came with a stark warning: once the wish was granted, the dying star would vanish forever, its fleeting brilliance extinguished for all eternity. Aiden's heart raced as he absorbed this revelation, his thoughts whirling with the gravity of the knowledge he now possessed. Unbeknownst to him, this discovery would become the catalyst for a life-changing adventure, one that would test the limits of love, friendship, and sacrifice. The idea of having one last chance to reunite with Elara consumed Aiden's every thought. He knew that the dying star's remaining stardust held the power to grant his deepest desire. As Aiden became increasingly obsessed with the idea, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He would embark on a perilous journey through space to collect the dying star's stardust before it disappeared into oblivion. Aiden devoted countless hours to researching and building a spacecraft capable of making the treacherous journey to the dying star. He studied ancient texts and consulted with renowned scientists to gather the knowledge he would need to navigate the cosmos. As the spacecraft took shape, Aiden's excitement and determination grew, and the villagers couldn't help but be drawn to the peculiar project on the hill. One day, as Aiden was finalizing his preparations, a young woman named Lyra approached him. She had heard whispers about the daring adventure and was captivated by the idea of exploring the universe. Lyra pleaded with Aiden to let her join him on his journey, explaining that she had lost her own family and felt a deep connection to the stars. Reluctantly, Aiden agreed, and the two formed an unlikely partnership. As the day of departure approached, Aiden and Lyra worked tirelessly to complete the spacecraft and ensure that they were prepared for the challenges ahead. The villagers gathered to bid them farewell, their eyes filled with a mix of fear and awe. With a final glance at his home, Aiden climbed into the cockpit alongside Lyra, and they embarked on their incredible journey. The cosmos unfolded before them in a breathtaking display of celestial beauty. Aiden and Lyra marveled at the wonders of the universe as they navigated through asteroid fields, past swirling galaxies, and around massive black holes. They encountered alien species and visited distant planets, each new discovery fueling their determination to reach the dying star. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, Aiden couldn't help but feel a growing bond with Lyra. Their shared passion for the stars and the pain of their losses forged a connection that transcended their initial partnership. But Aiden's heart still ached for Elara, and he remained steadfast in his quest to gather the stardust and make his wish come true. As the journey progressed, Aiden and Lyra faced numerous obstacles, from treacherous space debris to mysterious cosmic phenomena. They encountered a massive solar storm that threatened to engulf their spacecraft, forcing them to rely on their ingenuity and teamwork to navigate to safety. They also stumbled upon a derelict spaceship inhabited by an ancient, wise being who tested their knowledge of the cosmos and imparted valuable wisdom to aid them on their quest. Through each challenge, Aiden and Lyra's bond deepened, and they began to confide in one another about their pasts, sharing stories of their loved ones and their dreams for the future. Lyra revealed that she had lost her family in a tragic accident and found solace in stargazing, seeing the stars as a reminder that her family's spirits lived on. Aiden found comfort in Lyra's understanding and empathy, yet his longing for Elara remained ever present. Finally, after months of traversing the vast expanse of space, Aiden and Lyra arrived at the dying star. They gazed in awe at its flickering light, the celestial body pulsating with an ethereal energy. Aiden's heart raced as he prepared to collect the precious stardust, the realization of his dream finally within reach. With great care, Aiden and Lyra maneuvered their spacecraft close to the dying star, utilizing a specially designed instrument to gather the remaining stardust. The cosmic dust shimmered with a captivating iridescence, its energy seemingly resonating with the emotions in Aiden's heart. As they began their journey back to their home planet, the reality of the choice that lay before Aiden weighed heavily upon him. With the stardust in his possession, he would soon have the power to grant his deepest wish, to bring Elara back to life. Yet, the bond he had formed with Lyra was undeniable, and he knew that his decision would forever change the course of their lives. As their spacecraft sped through the cosmos, Aiden found himself torn between his love for Elara and the newfound connection he shared with Lyra. He spent long hours gazing at the stars, his thoughts swirling like the galaxies that surrounded them. Lyra, sensing his inner turmoil, gave him space to process his emotions, while also offering a comforting presence when he needed it. One day, while exploring an ancient, abandoned space station, Aiden and Lyra discovered a holographic archive containing the history and wisdom of a long-lost civilization. They spent hours studying the holograms, seeking insights that might help Aiden make his difficult decision. Among the wealth of knowledge, they found tales of love, sacrifice, and the power of choice. As they continued their journey home, Aiden realized that the stardust he had collected represented more than just a chance to reunite with Elara. It symbolized the power to shape his own destiny. He knew that, ultimately, the decision he made would define not only his future, but also his very identity. As their home planet finally appeared on the horizon, Aiden's heart grew heavy with the gravity of the choice that awaited him. He knew that he could use the stardust to bring Elara back, but at what cost? Would he be sacrificing the genuine bond he had formed with Lyra, or would the wish he had fought so hard to attain finally bring him the happiness he longed for? The spacecraft touched down in the same spot from which they had departed, the villagers eagerly awaiting their return. As Aiden and Lyra emerged, their faces etched with the wisdom and experiences of their incredible journey, the villagers greeted them with awe and admiration. In the days that followed their return, Aiden and Lyra shared their experiences and the knowledge they had gained with the villagers. They spoke of the breathtaking beauty of the cosmos, the otherworldly beings they had encountered, and the ancient wisdom they had discovered. The villagers were enthralled by their tales, and Aiden and Lyra found solace in their newfound roles as ambassadors of the universe. Yet, as the excitement of their homecoming began to fade, Aiden's thoughts returned to the decision that still loomed over him. The stardust, carefully stored in a secure container, seemed to taunt him, its iridescent glow a constant reminder of the power it held. He knew that he could not delay his choice any longer, and he retreated to the hilltop where his telescope stood, seeking clarity among the stars. Lyra, understanding Aiden's need for solitude, remained in the village, her heart heavy with worry for her friend. She could not help but wonder what his choice would be and how it would affect their lives. She longed for the connection they had shared in the vast expanse of space, and she knew that no matter what decision Aiden made, their lives would be forever changed. Under the canopy of the night sky, Aiden grappled with his emotions, his heart torn between his love for Elara and the bond he had formed with Lyra. As he gazed at the dying star, now just a faint speck of light in the distance, he remembered the sacrifices he had made and the challenges he had overcome to gather the stardust. During the days following their return, Aiden found himself increasingly drawn to the container of stardust. He felt compelled to understand the true nature of the cosmic dust before making his final decision. He spent countless hours studying the stardust, using his extensive knowledge of the universe and the ancient texts he had gathered during his journey. One evening, as Aiden pored over his research, he stumbled upon a passage in a forgotten tome that made his heart skip a beat. The text spoke of a powerful cosmic force that demanded balance in all things. The passage hinted at a terrible price that must be paid when the stardust was used to bring someone back from the realm of the dead, a life for a life. Aiden's hands trembled as he reread the passage, the implications of his discovery dawning on him. If he used the stardust to bring Elara back to life, he would have to sacrifice his own life in exchange. The weight of this revelation pressed down on him, and he found himself questioning the choice he was about to make. Desperate for guidance, Aiden sought out Lyra, who had become his confidant and closest friend. He shared his findings with her, the pain and fear evident in his voice. Lyra listened intently, her heart aching for Aiden as she grasped the enormity of the decision he faced. As the days passed, Aiden grappled with the heart-wrenching decision before him. He had come to deeply cherish the bond he had formed with Lyra and the sense of purpose he had discovered on their journey. And yet, he could not ignore the love he still felt for Elara and the possibility of granting her a second chance at life. Aiden knew that he must make a choice, and he found himself reflecting on the true meaning of love and sacrifice. One starry night, Aiden came to a decision. He knew that the price he would have to pay was great, but he resolved to use the stardust to bring Elara back, choosing to sacrifice his own life for hers. He confided in Lyra, who listened with a heavy heart, understanding the depth of love that drove Aiden's choice. With a mixture of sadness and determination, Aiden and Lyra prepared for the fateful moment. They stood together under the canopy of stars, holding the shimmering container of stardust between them. Aiden's eyes met Lyra's, filled with gratitude and love for the friendship they had forged during their incredible journey. "Thank you, Lyra," Aiden whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "You have shown me the true meaning of love and friendship, and I will carry that with me as I make this sacrifice. Please, take care of Elara, and help her find happiness in this new life I'm giving her." Tears streamed down Lyra's face as she nodded, promising to honor Aiden's final wish. With a deep breath, Aiden released the stardust into the air, the iridescent particles swirling around them like a celestial storm. As the cosmic dust enveloped Aiden, his body began to fade, the life force within him transferring to Elara. As Aiden's form disappeared into the night, Elara began to stir, her once lifeless body now infused with the energy of the stardust. As she awoke, her eyes met Lyra's, filled with confusion and wonder. In that moment, Lyra knew that she had been entrusted with a sacred task to guide and support Elara as she navigated her new life. And as she grieved the loss of her dear friend Aiden, she found solace in the knowledge that his love and sacrifice would live on in the hearts of those he had touched. The villagers mourned Aiden's passing, forever grateful for the love and wisdom he had brought into their lives. They looked to the stars in remembrance of him, their hearts filled with the moving tale of love, friendship, and sacrifice that would echo through the ages.